Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome to Evolution of Pro Wrestling. I am Louis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And I'm Jay, the heel kid of Pro Wrestling.
And this is Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Happy New Year! Welcome back, fans. We are officially back. It feels good to be back, Jaden. It's been a really good year, 2023, but now we're going into 2024 in full effect. Professional wrestling, I think it's going to be an awesome year in 2024.
I think so.
And we are so excited to see what's going to come up in 2024.
Yeah.
Jaden, a lot has happened in professional wrestling.
A lot.
Holy shit, a bombshell. A bombshell on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson returned to the WWE, kicked the shit out of Jinder Mahal, who also returned. Hey guys, what's going on? Happy New Year. We're welcome back to Season 5. Season 5 here at Evolution of Pro Wrestling with myself and my co-host Jaden, the heel kid. We got a lot in store for you guys. There's a lot of talk. He said you should have the special announcement on behind you. That's not a bad idea, Jaden. You got Peacock on your Fire Stick? No? Okay, sorry, we can't do it. I'm sorry. Happy 2K24 family. Yes, Bradley, what's going on? Jeremy, jefe, ¿cómo estás, caballero? Guys, as we mentioned, we are back for Season 5 of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Again, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson returned on Monday Night Raw, cut a promo, kicked the shit out of Jinder Mahal, and then made a promo in San Diego and said... maybe we should play it for them, Jaden. What do you think?
I think so.
But Jaden,
are you ready?
Are you ready? Oh yeah, we sure are. Are you ready? Oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. It's The Rock versus Roman at Elimination Chamber. Like, we don't own rights to this YouTube video or anything like that. But it was a hell of a segment. When The Rock came back, like, the crowd went bananas. I mean, like...
Yeah, they went crazy.
Even the announcer jumped up out of her seat like she was a fan, you know. And it was amazing. It was amazing. The return was... I'm a fan. Oh, excuse me. See, I'm sick of these damn ads.
Mute that. We don't give no free.
Happy New Year's, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you guys too. It feels good to be back. We've been waiting to talk wrestling. Everything that's been happening, with CM Punk, Elimination Chamber coming up, Royal Rumble coming up. We got a lot of questions to ask with after this this thing here. Okay, here's Jinder Mahal with his nonsense.
He's a big nose.
And the crowd goes nuts. Like they went berserk when The Rock came up. Holy shit! Like it got me up as a fan because
Michael reaction.
Oh man. Yes, Samantha Irvin, it was all of us. It was like all of us. Like, oh yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Reaction made
all right, now let's take you to the promo. Let's take you to the promo.
Man.
I hate these ads. I can't stand these ads. Anyway, Jaden, tell them what we got in store for them today while we're finding while we're sharing our content. Which fans, please feel free to share our content all over social media.
Jinder was perfect on his role Monday. Monday Night Raw was a great one.
Monday Night Raw.
That was a good way to start off the 2024 year.
Sit at the head of the table.
That was a good way to start. But we got a lot in store for you guys. If you guys been keeping up, do you know what today's topic is? But I'm not gonna spoil it yet. First, we gotta get through that wrestling news. We gotta get through what's been going on, how this 2024 year has already started with a bang. But we got a good topic for you guys today.
Okay, I'm sick of these ads. Like, I'm just gonna fuck.
Elimination Chamber predictions. We got those too. When is Elimination Chamber Day?
That's next month. That won't come up yet.
Oh yeah.
But we will have that.
Okay, now I got a question for you.
Okay, ask the question.
I got a question for you guys. Who do you guys think is winning that match? The Rock or Roman Reigns? It should be it's kind of an obvious answer.
That's an interesting.
But who do you think is going to win that?
Come on. Okay, so here it is.
Rock goes out to get something to eat tonight in San Diego.
This is the promo.
Rock sit in a booth,
In a booth?
or should the Rock sit at the bar?
At the bar? Yeah.
Loves a bar too.
Bar two.
Or should the Rock sit at the head of the table?
Yeah.
That's when it all, when the shit hit the fan.
I don't know.
Rock
I don't know if any of you guys
officially
seen,
challenging Roman Reigns
He actually,
on live
he actually
TV.
replied too. He didn't reply.
He laughed. He did an emoji
Yeah,
with laughter.
He did an emoji
So
with
Jaden,
laughing.
okay, so let me ask you a question, and this goes for everybody else out there. Now that the Rock is back, what happens to Cody Rhodes?
Well, I feel like now this would be the time to build up Cody Rhodes because I feel like, well, Roman Reigns, they're making The Rock come back for one big reason, and that's because they're trying to make Roman Reigns vulnerable. They're trying to make him vulnerable, and this gives plenty of time for Cody Rhodes to build up his character. Cody Rhodes has been in the company for a little while now, ever since he's returned. So now they're trying to build up Cody Rhodes, and they're trying to build him up. Exactly. Elimination Chamber winner. I think he's gonna win the Elimination Chamber, and then he's gonna try to get a shot at Roman Reigns for the titles.
Okay. Well, listen, you can't just push aside Cody Rhodes in
Of
this
course
situation.
not. Cody Rhodes is no.
You know, it's
Like I said though, I feel like it's good with the pacing they're going right now because they don't want to rush his title run, but they don't want to be too patient with this title run either. And we also got to take into consideration he's been here for a little while, but he hasn't been here for like the longest time. Of course, he's been here before. This is not his first time in the WWE, but Cody Rhodes has been working. Ever since he got back, he's been working. You know, that match he had with Seth Rollins, other match he had with Seth Rollins.
Oh, no, listen. You talk about Cody Rhodes. I'm loving the Cody Rhodes Shinsuke Nakamura
Me
rivalry.
too.
Yo, Shinsuke is fucking killing it.
I'm telling you, they're building.
Did I say fuck you? I'm sorry. That's because we are MA, mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Fucking it. But no, Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke Nakamura, they're killing it right now.
They're
with their rivalry.
They're really
Like,
building
it's
up his
amazing.
character.
It's amazing the way Shinsuke is playing that character right now. Like the
Definitely.
Japanese translating and all that stuff. I love it. I love it because guys, if you see me moving a lot, I'm sorry. I have a little injury in my back, little work injury, but I'll try to get through. But yes, with Shinsuke Nakamura, we see the way he moves, and like you just see the promo. You see how everything goes. You see how he does a storytelling, like the way and the rivalry, and you see how aggressive Cody Rhodes has been.
Cody Rhodes, yes.
When you talk about aggressiveness, there's another person that I'm liking this character is, what's his name? Drew McIntyre.
Isn't he a heel now?
He's a heel now. I'm loving the attitude right now.
I feel like they need to give him the World Heavyweight title.
Did you guys, not to be on topic, but did you guys know that Asuka had a twin sister?
I didn't even know she had a sister, period.
They're using that same sister in WWE. They switched them. Yeah.
What? No way.
I swear to God, I sent it to the chat.
What?
They go together. They switch each time. They do it differently.
Wow. So you're telling me this whole time it hasn't just been Asuka?
It hasn't just been Asuka.
That's really
That's
actually mind blowing to think
Christopher
about.
Brown says with Nakamura, we're seeing the NXT version of him shining through before Vince fucked with it. Absolutely.
That's
Yo, Compi,
Hey,
what's going on,
Padrino.
brother? How you doing? Welcome. Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
He said, I got an announcement here from James. Said they're going to drag out this announcement. Just let us know. Give us the breaking news. Welcome, Brian. Welcome, everybody, for our fifth season of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. We got wrestling's top news. For those coming in, we mentioned about The Rock challenging Roman Reigns publicly on live TV. But the question is, where does this leave Cody? Is Cody out? Is Cody still gonna finish the story? Is Cody still gonna continue? You know, that's a lot of questions that people are asking. And the question that we're asking is, why haven't you shared our content all over social media? Share it, like, comment, bring everybody in. Happy New Year, Season 5 of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Oh, thank you very much.
MJF could be coming Rumble surprise.
That's rumbling up there. Cody's not going back to AEW. That's not happening. With the drawing that AEW's happening right now, like
he's not.
Are you even gonna?
He's definitely not going back. That's a done deal.
And fans, thank you so much for always watching our content, and because of our producer and director, my lovely and beautiful wife, she has always supported us, and she has put perfect content and nice T-shirts and stuff like that. So, thank you so much, honey. We appreciate you. Back to the topic at hand. We are here now, back in full effect. And the topic we're going to have tonight, when you mentioned Cody Rhodes' withdrawal for AEW, create a faction with MJF. Well, that would draw some money. I
still don't think he's gonna do it though. I still don't think Cody is ever turning back to AEW.
I don't know.
At least no time soon.
I think he's still gonna finish the story.
Of course.
Christopher says, it's like one of the other podcasts I watched said last Friday, Lewis, it doesn't have to end at Mania, and it doesn't have to be against Roman to finish the story. There's really no limitations as to when they end Cody's story.
That is 100% true.
You're drawing money. This man is drawing money through merchandise.
Cody wins.
He's making money. Like I'm talking, like dinero. Carajo.
He is.
Like he's making some pretty good money.
Yeah.
So, but when you mention about that, it's kind of tough to think that. When will it happen? Like, do we want it to happen at Mania?
Like I said, it's. I feel like it should happen at Mania. I feel like he should definitely get a WrestleMania moment. Like, I for sure think he should be.
Well, his dad never got it.
I don't think his brother ever got it either, right?
He said Cody's story is about the title, not the person holding the title. Pretty much. And he wants to hold that title.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I think the story doesn't end. It's kind of tough to say.
The risk they're running is burning out the fans who don't have patience for it to play out. That's what I'm saying. They gotta if they're gonna drag it out a little bit, they gotta start taking a lot more action now, because eventually if they drag it out too long, everybody's gonna become uninterested.
Yeah.
And most of the time, Vince was the reason why a lot of wrestlers were burned out. But if they drag a rivalry for way too long, eventually fans are gonna stop liking that wrestler, and that's how wrestlers.
Well, that's what happened a long time ago with The Rock. That's what happened with The Rock. That's what happened with many stars. That's what happened with Stone Cold. That's what happened with Macho Man. And speaking of those two gentlemen, Macho Man and Stone Cold, this brings us to our topic of the night. Evolution of Pro Wrestling is about to take you to this dark side.
Yep.
But we're going to read this comment before we continue. James says, Priest cashes in on Rollins the night after Mania. Cody wins Money in the Bank and controls his own story. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. Doesn't sound like a bad idea at all, that story.
I think so,
listening to that.
Now, James, I do got a question for you. Him making his own story, who would you like to see him maybe rival with? Or, how do you think
I want that rivalry with Randy Orton.
How do you think his style would be?
I want that rivalry with Randy Orton.
I'm not going to lie. Randy Orton is a perfect rival for him, man.
I'm telling you. And that would be Randy Orton, the heel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Randy Orton, the heel. And that would be an amazing story. They would battle for days for the WWE Championship, like match after match after match. Cody versus Orton and Cody versus AJ. Exactly, definitely. Two possibilities right there. And AJ's a heel, and I would love to see that battle.
Is he back yet?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay,
he is back.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't see his return. Yeah,
he turned heel.
We need a rivalry with Orton and Rose.
Yes,
everybody
exactly.
Wants to see
want that rivalry.
Everybody wants that rivalry.
They both are at their prime. They both are at their prime, and they're both doing stuff.
Cody versus Gunther.
Hey, hell yeah! After that performance at Rumble. Holy
yeah,
shit!
for sure,
Like, that
for
was
sure. That was a great,
that was a
amazing
great,
performance. Something,
awesome, man.
something I
Listen,
was surprised by.
Gunther needs to get that push and finally become a world champion, even if it's the World Heavyweight Championship.
He definitely
Give that
is.
man a title.
There's a lot of people that are gunning for a title right now.
Absolutely.
And a
He's
lot of people
he's
that deserve a title for sure.
Yeah, Brian says not just one and done. We need a long-winded rivalry dated back to the
legacy.
to the
Thank
legacy
you.
days.
You're talking about language
exactly,
right now.
Exactly.
All the
That's
way
what I'm
back
saying.
to the
all the way
legacy
back to the
days.
legacy days, because that was the best when the rivalries were there and they did what they need. You enjoyed it. Build up your new top star.
Exactly.
Man. Like, do it. Bring back, build your Hulk Hogan's, build your Stone Colds, your Rocks, but in their version.
Or I wouldn't even say that. Build their own character.
They could build themselves.
There will never be another replica of anybody. Give them their own shine.
Give them the opportunity to create their character. Again, which brings us to our topic of the night. The Dark Side of Evolution, Part 1.
Yep.
We're going to bring you into the lives, personal, controversial lives of 4 superstars today. 4 wrestlers that we're picking to talk about. And you guys can talk about anything. You guys can mention anything. We'll talk about it. We'll go back and forth. I don't care. We're going to spark up this conversation and enjoy. It's going to get heated, but we're going to enjoy it. The 4 stars that we have elected to pick today is going to be none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brian Pillman, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, dig it, Technical Godfathers, dig it, brothers, and Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. These 4 men have revolutionized the business in many ways. Why Stone Cold? I'm going to get to that soon, my brother. The Dark Side of Evolution. Stone Cold has that dark side that there was a point that he hit rock bottom. He didn't really know where his career was going. Didn't really know.
Well, Stone Cold really didn't have like too much of a dark, like it wasn't like really in terms of like.
So you want to substitute? So whisper in the ear, and then we decide together. We're gonna change that. You're right, Jeremy. We're gonna change that. What about it?
Let me just write it. They're gonna hear it. The mic is too loud.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Where's my notes?
Come on, hurry up. Speed it up.
Hey.
But anyway, fans, while we split it up, please feel free to share our content all over social media. We do have him, yes.
I'm about to say, isn't he on that list?
Yes.
Wait, he wasn't even the one for part. He was the one for part 1.
No, you're absolutely right. So we're gonna take Stone Cold out of the mix, and it will be Shawn Michaels, Brian Pillman, Randy Savage, and Kurt Hennig.
I'm about to say, there we go. All
right,
that's the one.
So Brian Pillman itself, very controversial.
Oh man.
Shawn Michaels,
it's extremely controversial.
like oy vey.
For real.
Randy Savage,
same boat.
And Kurt Hennig.
That one I'm really indecisive about.
No, Kurt Hennig had his demons, and there a lot of shit happened with Kurt Hennig, especially with the plane ride from hell when him and Brock Lesnar got into a fight. Savage was a savage.
Savage was a savage.
He said the only thing I know Stone Cold is domestic violence case. Yeah, because he kicked the shit out of you, That's what he did.
Hey,
but
Stone Cold was really cold, man.
But Shawn Michaels was.
Okay, now that's better. Yeah, exactly. I like to hear that.
All right, I
like to hear that.
I saw it. But Jaden, these 4 stars that we mentioned, what comes to mind when you hear these 4 stars?
Like you said,
for each one of them.
I got the same definition for all of them because it's controversy. You hear Brian Pillman, Kurt Hennig, Macho Man, and Shawn Michaels. You hear there's many things you hear about them. Even on the plus side, you hear icon, you hear legend, and then you hear controversy. You hear like things such as that.
Oh no, Savage was definitely jealous of anyone that talked to Liz. Like literally, he took that character from the Macho Man. Where's up, brother?
Isn't that how he really spoke too?
No, he did.
His real voice.
That was his real voice. But he actually...
He took that character.
He took that character very seriously, but he actually did it in real life. That he shut down Liz from everybody, from the entire world. He didn't want nobody talking to her. He didn't want nobody looking at her. He didn't want nobody touching her. Nothing. She didn't want him look. He didn't want her looking at nobody.
I mean. So did they really have
He was 100% character.
So
Savage was in his character 100%.
Like he was playing kayfabe, or he was being dead serious?
He was being dead serious.
That man was in love.
That he played the political part with Hulk Hogan. Those two, they hated each other. He said, "You can't trust the boys." Like it was that bad. Like it was dramatic. The drama he had with Liz was crazy.
Wow.
That when he proposed to her on live TV, they were already going through marital issues. What? They were going through problems while they were still there.
Jesus.
Because he was so jealous. Like he was really, really jealous. That he said, yeah, people said Randy was in character his whole life.
Wow.
And that's who he was. He said, okay, Dave says, read Jane Clark's book, Stone Cold's First Wife and Lady Blossom in WCCW and WCW. That's what I'm saying. Like Macho Man was off the chain. But that's who he was. In professional wrestling and in real life. Now, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was part of the Rockers in the beginning. First it was the Midnight Rockers to start with in AWA. Then it slowly started progressing. They had a problem at first when they came to the WWE. They one and done.
It was a rocky start.
They got thrown out right away. Yeah. They got fired the next day. Get the hell out of here. Like
we don't want you. Get away.
We don't want that shit. But it took them a year. He hated Hogan. Macho Man hated Hogan for decades, even when they were in NWO and WCW. Wow. They didn't like each other.
So they did it
because of business.
Even when they were in the Mega Powers.
In the Mega Powers.
Wow.
Because he would.
Who would have thought, man?
Apparently there was okay, it says James says Austin had major issues when he first started. The anger issues followed. Yes, you're right. Austin had that at a moment. Midnight Rockers party too much like their names. Exactly. Shawn Michaels' story, at least Gas has it does have an happy ending. It does have an happy ending. Happy ending.
It does have a happy ending.
It has a happy ending.
It does.
He said, how about, yes, I was just about to get to that, Mr. Wikipedia.
How about accusations, Jeanette and Michael?
There's accusations against Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels that have been put out there that apparently they drugged somebody with certain medication and stuff like that.
Oh, my.
And it was just crazy.
Oh, my.
And he said, yeah, Jannetty was definitely a pill popper back then.
Oh, yeah, Jannetty.
And it cost them their job. It cost them their job because they weren't thinking. They weren't thinking that at a point that Marty Jannetty got a second chance. Got 1 second chance. And he blew it.
Of course.
Because of legal troubles. You know what I mean? And that was it. I feel like
Marty Jannetty really could have been a good solo if he hadn't messed up his career.
Listen, when it came to that, he could have been, but... the allegations. There was allegations.
Wow.
Let me see if I can find this here on Pro Wrestling News on WrestlingNews.com. Jaden, continue talking.
Oh God, yeah, I got comments coming fast,
Keep it going.
Dang.
Let me see if I
Jesse, thank you, man. The shirts are cool.
Cool shirts, thank you. Yeah, what's up, brother? Welcome. How you doing, man?
They sedated woman in hotel room. That's the allegations.
Exactly. That's the allegation.
That's the allegations going around for, or not right now, but those were the allegations going around for those two at that time. Those were the allegations that were brought up against those two. That they drugged woman
into a hotel room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So we don't know. Those are allegations.
Savage versus Hogan
over Liz so bad that he was pure jealous that he lost his mind. I think that kind of killed him when she died.
I'm about to say his
love was always there for Liz. It was always there for Liz.
Always there. He was jealous and he got mad because people would even look her way. That man was madly in love with her, man. Like, to keep it in like the way possible, like Liz was like his drug, basically. Like, he couldn't live without that woman.
No. And it's like that.
It made him like lose his sanity. Like that's really what happened to Macho Man. Like,
exactly.
It's really what happened to Macho Man. That woman was, like something that he held very precious, and after she was gone, he lost himself. He lost himself.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what, at a point, he was happy. He was married. He was a train wreck.
I gotta watch his Dark Side of the Ring.
No, he was definitely a force to be reckoned with back then.
I definitely gotta watch his Dark Side of the Ring.
Another person that had issues was Kurt Hennig. Kurt Hennig had a lot of personal issues, because yes, he was a hell of a star, a former AEW champion. He had a legacy. He was the Intercontinental Champion at a point.
Yeah.
And he became the WCW United States Champion.
Yeah, he's had many rivalries too.
But in his personal life, he went through a lot of demons. You know what I mean? Because he was losing himself. Him and his father was great together.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Randy Poffo and Macho Man, they were great, man.
Yeah.
But it was a shame, it was a shame that it had to come to that for Kurt Hennig to pass away. And yes, he had that fight with Brock Lesnar in 15,000 feet. That was the plane ride of hell. Because mad shit happened that day.
He couldn't beat the drug demon.
No,
yeah,
he couldn't beat it. I'm
about to say, but we also gotta understand too, once a lot of things could cause that, just stress outside of. Turn that off, man.
Shut up.
Talking, man. What's going on?
I'm sorry.
Nah, but there's a lot of things that could take a mental toll on you, man. And unfortunately, people.
Yeah,
use
you're right, Brian.
No,
you're right. He tried even when he went to WCW.
And he tried, man. Even when he went to WCW.
But when you got people that at that time were using, it's unfortunate that they had to.
The thing with Mr. Perfect is he never brought his problems into the ring.
No,
that's one thing I've never seen about him.
Never.
Either.
He was always professional. He was always good in the ring.
Yep.
And he did what he had to do, no matter what.
I'm about to say, you can definitely tell, he always he was really dedicated to the wrestling business, because he never dragged his problems into the wrestling business. He always tried to fight his demons outside the ring, and like you guys said, unfortunately, the demons beat him.
And you're right, Bradley. A lot of wrestlers are sadly dealing with drugs, and they go fast.
Sad too many people lost too young.
People don't understand the stuff they go through when you're.
I'm about to say, being in a wrestling business is not easy.
No, it's not easy being in a wrestling
Jeff Hardy
business.
would be a great wrestler for this topic. I'm not gonna lie, Jeff Hardy would be
of course.
Listen,
I'm good to talk about him too. You want to add somebody? Let's add somebody. This is the dark side of
Remember
evolution.
when he came into the ring high? That was
crazy. No, he did.
I remember Sting was pissed.
He was pissed, and it wasn't high. He was actually intoxicated. He was drunk out his ass.
Mind. Yep.
He was drunk out his ass.
How did they realize he was drunk though? That's my question. Because it took me a little while to realize it, because I seen the thumbnail or the caption for it, and it was Jeff Hardy drunk, and I didn't see it at first. Then when kind of kept watching, I was like, oh, all right, I understand now. It's wow. No,
you can tell. Hot stuff. Eddie Gilbert fits that bill as well.
Yep.
Absolutely. Hot stuff was
that or suicide.
He was Hot stuff. Eddie Gilbert was a big drug user, and he also died of that type of natural causes. You know what I mean? Because it gets to you. Okay, we got just to give you an update. Jeremy says WWE, they haven't mentioned anything yet. They just have Peter Rosenberg there laughing out loud. Okay, thank you, Jeremy. He said, oh yes, Jeff was high out his mind. This dude was, he said, watch how he moves. You can see the difference from Jeff Hardy. Two differences people. Absolutely, definitely different. And it was a shame that it had to come to that.
I could also tell he was very stumbly when he got up.
It pissed me off when you were in the ring with such an icon.
It wasn't even
a star, it wasn't Sting, and you make him.
That wasn't even the thing that got me upset. The thing was, people were anticipating to see a good match. People wanted to see. That was a dream match. Sting versus Jeff Hardy. That was a match people wanted to see, and Jeff Hardy. I can't really say. I can't really say.
On him once he came back, which is good. He did. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
needed to. Like, there's
Yeah.
people that are fighting for that.
That was a big wake up call.
They're
for him,
fighting for their
sure.
careers. They're fighting to do something else.
I'm
They're
about to say,
fighting
a lot of people thought that was like just a promo, but that was AJ was speaking real,
No,
man.
he was
AJ
speaking real in the locker room.
He was
You know,
talking,
you
man.
can't-
You can't do that, man. Like you said, there's a lot of people that would risk their lives just to get to where
Just
Jeff
to
Hardy
get
is.
where he is.
Not even to
You
get
know,
a
and there's-
title
and there's
run,
many
just to
stars
get
that-
just to dance in the ring.
And there's
man.
many stars that are to this day are still fighting to make it.
Just to make,
Like,
just
for
to get out of the
instance, you got
indie
stars
promotions,
today
man.
like Damian Priest, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, JD
Putting their
McDonough,
blood, sweat, and tears
people in
into this business,
AEW,
man.
Kenny, like all these guys putting their blood, sweat, tears,
Yeah.
and then you got other guys that weren't
Just-
even
they just-
here,
yeah,
that already
they
had
just-
their moment,
Yeah.
right back into the spotlight. No point intended, but I'm gonna just put the shit out there. The Rock and CM Punk. I like The Rock. I'm not too fond of CM Punk, but I know the man Joe's fucking money.
As long as The
So-
Rock doesn't win any titles,
No title.
I'm good.
No titles.
I'm good. I don't got a
Sorry.
problem with his
No
return
damn
whatsoever.
titles.
I loved his return.
Like his return was
Just don't-
great.
just don't give him a
return
title.
was great,
Just
but
don't-
no titles.
please, none.
Like there's no point. There's no
Whatsoever.
point in having it.
None.
So, but anyway, back to our guys that we're talking about. Shawn Michaels was a freaking train wreck.
Yeah.
This man, before, like I said, they were the Midnight Express, and then they came back a year later as the Rockers in WWE.
They did.
And we're like, all right, they started getting some momentum going. They started, because I'll be watching the documentary Shawn Michaels a lot. So I studied that shit. Like, it's an awesome documentary. I can never get tired of it.
Right.
With Shawn Michaels, they started going, they were making their way up. And then they finally got their opportunity for the WWE Tag Team titles.
Oh.
And the ring rope broke. The ring rope broke, and the match had to finish
Yep.
in a bad fashion. That they ended up taking back the titles, giving it back to the Hart Foundation.
Wow.
And the Rockers never got a title shot after that.
That's what I love about Sting's return. It was genuine. He doesn't want a title. He just wanted to wrestle.
Exactly.
I agree.
That's because he's been always for the business.
Yep.
You sacrifice for the business. And unfortunately, not too many stars today do that. And it sucks.
It's all about the
But-
money and who's the top person in the business.
But at that time, with Shawn Michaels...
And and I'm sorry to cut you off, but honestly speaking, I feel like everybody here, including you, could agree with me. WWE for the past decade has been a cycle. For the past time, there's been quite a few people that's always been for the business. But it's always been a cycle to see who's the top person, who gets the most money, or who has the best rivalries.
Exactly.
That's always how the company has been from the very
but that's
first
what I'm
day.
saying. This brings us back to the comment that Brian said. You need to bring back rivalries that were legacy days, that it lasted a certain amount.
Exactly.
New matches, new promos, certain things involve other people in the.
It's been like that's why it has been like that for more than 10 years, more than a
10
decade.
years. That's what I'm
for
saying.
real, it really has.
You gotta.
It's been like that since almost since the whole Hogan days.
Okay,
it's been
for
like
instance,
that.
we got now TNA that is officially under the Endeavor now.
Yeah.
That owns WWE.
Yep.
Do merchandise sales push people career in WWE? Look at Rey Mysterio. Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. So you got all this stuff going on now with TNA. Do something.
Yeah.
Make some money. Build some stars. If you do a cross brand. Do an invasion angle. Do something. Get the fan.
Yeah. Get
This is the
fans
best
hyped, man.
time to be a fan in 2024 with everything that's going on in professional wrestling. You guys can't tell me. You guys cannot tell me I'm wrong. Like, so honestly, cut down all the WWE pay-per-views. It could help more too. Exactly. Because with that, you can do a cross brand with TNA and WWE. And then right there, you have something to watch each month.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of 2 pay-per-views in a month, you got 1 pay-per-view for WWE. You got another pay-per-view for TNA. So, say bring back the big 4. Said Worlds Collide and look at this already. Worlds Collide NXT versus TNA. So that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, that's something that you can do. You know what I'm saying? So again, back to where it leads back to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels wanted to be that guy.
He
He
did.
wanted to be the guy that, okay, the little people can do something too.
The
little people, because wrestling was the land of the giants.
Yeah,
that's what it was. It was always about muscle, saying the prayer, saying, "Oh, brother, all that shit."
What I say about wrestling is honestly only the strong survive. Like,
always.
I'm not saying you gotta be physically strong, like
but
you gotta be mentally,
the
heart, and strong physically. You gotta have all of those.
At the time, Vince McMahon put money in the bank back to WrestleMania. Exactly. Said Brian says, but WWE used to have pay-per-views monthly since the Rona hit. They cut down on pay-per-views big time. That's true.
They did. There was a lot more pay-per-views.
But they should. They should do it once a month or do it twice. Do it like, to me. If they were to merge with TNA or do a cross-brand with stuff like that, they should do it the way they used to. Do the major events only, and then do a leading up show going into WrestleMania. At least.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Maybe a backlash.
Or maybe keep the main.
Shawn Michaels grew up after he got hurt. His ego was always there, especially when he was given the title. Exactly.
His ego
that was
one of his biggest demons that he faced, his ego.
Like he
always felt like he was like,
excuse me,
he always felt like he was number one, and by him doing that, he never wanted to do a lot of business with a lot of people.
No,
and that was his biggest downfall.
Run a few Saturday nights main event. Exactly. Do some of that. Bring all that stuff back, man. Like, this is the best time to make history.
It is, man.
To make money.
Especially that he's
Jessica says Shawn was the top guy, the boy toy, party guy till he hit rock bottom, and now he's 100% healthy, etc. Exactly.
I agree with the big four: Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and Mania.
Exactly.
I think so too.
Exactly. Do the big four.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if you're gonna do a cross brand, do exactly Saturday night main events, set up pay-per-view matches. Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You got Monday Night Raw, you got SmackDown, but if you do that Saturday night's main event, even if it's for an hour, but at least you build up. That'll be the time for wrestlers to rest. Your top stars to rest.
Right.
Like, okay, let's do this way, let's do this that way. You know what I'm saying? But Jaden, Shawn Michaels, when he was young, he went through a lot of personal shit.
He did.
What do you think would have happened if he would have never got into all that personal shit? Would the career of Shawn Michaels have been the HBK?
Well,
tell me a good reason. Give me a good detail.
It's kind of funny because I think yes and no. I feel like HBK was very talented. The moment he had his time to shine, he was very, very talented. But his ego got in the way of all of that talent. He felt like he was on top. He felt like he could run everything. And eventually that all got to his head. What happens when something gets to your head? You start doing dangerous things.
Power.
What happens?
You set things the wrong way.
You set things the wrong way. And then what happens? What happens when you feel like, not even that, what happens when you feel like you have power?
You're untouchable.
You feel like you're untouchable.
And pretty much he had nothing to lose. He had nothing to lose. He was single. He was making money. He was a champion. He didn't give a shit.
And then when you start making decisions like that and people start trying to call you out on it, all the stress starts coming in. What happens when you have stress? You start popping pills.
Brian says,
start doing things you're not supposed to.
He says, I feel his downfall allowed him to shine brighter when he returned.
I agree.
That's true.
I think that's why I said yes, because his downfall was the biggest wake-up call of his life.
No, that was.
His downfall was the biggest wake-up call of his life.
He became a father. Then when his son started to notice how he was, he's like, holy shit. I can't do this anymore. I need to get... So yeah, it is the dark side of evolution, but yes, there is a happy ending to the Shawn Michaels one. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
With the other three, I'm not so much. So we're going to continue with that. With Shawn Michaels, yes, he turned himself into a better person. He says, James and I are on the same page. If HBK never had the demons, I don't think his star would have been as bright. I think he wouldn't have been pushed as hard. Exactly.
I said That's why I said I feel like once he got his shine was when the ego completely took over. There was no more Shawn Michaels. It was HBK that took over.
To me personally, it
was the Heartbreak Kid.
I actually like this version that came back.
Me too.
Because yes, Shawn Michaels from the past too was an excellent heel.
I'm not gonna lie.
And, he was athletic, but this one was more funny. He was more upbeat. He was out there. He was more with the fans. He was actually more of a high flyer at this time and better wrestler.
Mind you,
better
he was older too. He was older, and Shawn Michaels was one of those wrestlers that I really realized that the more he aged, the more experience he got.
There you go, Dave. See, perfect point. S.D. Jones was a great wrestler, but had no ego and was just a great worker.
A great worker.
Unlike Shawn Michaels, he was a great worker, had ego, and attitude is what made him.
I don't
Ken,
think,
how you doing, brother? Welcome.
No, I do think Shawn Michaels had an ego. I feel like Shawn Michaels has always had an ego. It just took for something to push that ego.
Exactly.
It just took
and apparently people say that
something to give it a little push.
It was apparently it was
and it was that title.
It was that title, and not only apparently Marty Jannetty gave him that push because he introduced him to shit he was never introduced to, and it made him this egotistical bastard that just wanted to go full throttle, and he didn't care who he ran through. He wanted to make it to the top.
He was gonna be number one no matter what it took.
Exactly.
And then when he became number one, like I said, there was no more Shawn Michaels. It was HBK.
Oh, interesting. Jeremy just told us that Bianca Belair and Montez are going to have their own series on Hulu.
Oh, interesting.
That's interesting. I want to see that. Yeah. Okay, so back to the gentleman in this topic, Brian Pillman, the loose cannon.
The loose
Holy
cannon.
shit. This guy he went through hell. I mean, from surgeries to surgeries after surgeries.
That guy
to
fought,
football,
man. He really
finally making it in the ring through an accident.
He really
just
fought, man. He really.
Tell us your first thought about Brian Pillman, Jaden, about his career, like a match that you remember on the top of your head. And same thing for you guys.
It's
Tell
really
us what you remember
I'll always remember his rivalry with Barry Windham. That's something that comes to mind when I think of him. And I say that because, well, I'm not really like around that time. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like from all of the things that I've learned about Brian Pillman, a lot of people talk about his rivalry with Barry Windham. So that's like the first thing
that is an absolute. No, Brian just said an absolute point, a good point. As men, we need to be broken to be able to be repaired and unbreakable.
I'm putting that quote in.
Absolutely, 100% right.
Wow,
that's deep.
That is deep for sure, man.
That's deep, man.
That's real. That's real.
James says Brian Pillman was underrated. Best matches was against Jushin Thunder Liger. Loved his matches with Liger.
Liger was
those two because Brian Flying Brian at the time, that was his name, Flying Brian.
For me, it was Pillman's history with Austin that sticks out the most. Mine was Stone and Pillman, a story. Pillman versus Justin
the history,
Liger.
Absolutely. No, Pillman and Jushin Thunder Liger is what I think about exactly because those two had that rivalry they had in Japan. They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And yes, Steve Austin had a big part in Brian Pillman.
He did.
You know, he came in. They were the Hollywood Blondes. Excellent tag team. I love that tag team. They were heels. They would always go like this, like they're doing a camera. It was amazing. I used to love it, and it was a shame they broke them up.
Yeah,
and I think that's what killed them. That at the point their careers, it was like wow. Jose, what's going on, brother? Happy New Year, brother. Much love, Jose Gonzalez.
Nakamura declared for the Rumble. That's okay,
cool. No, listen again, Nakamura. I'm loving his attitude, and I can't wait to see him.
Ken K. Lloyd, I agree with you.
No, Barry Windham. That was also
really something that just stands out.
Barry Windham knew how to work in the ring, and he knew how to build stars. And at that time, Brian Pillman was that star. But at somewhere along the line, Brian Pillman lost himself.
He did.
He became this crazy. Hey, Lewis, what's going on, brother? Lewis and Daniel, Happy New Year, brother. Welcome everybody to season 5 episode. We are back at season 5. The topic of the night, the Darkside of Evolution. Shawn Michaels, Brian Pillman, Randy Savage, and Kurt Hennig.
Yep.
Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, long time no see. The owner and CEO of EGCW Independent Wrestling here in Deltona City. Look for them on Facebook. They got a great promotion, great talent. Look them up. They're in Facebook.
Pillman and ECW.
Oh, that's where the downfall started.
Wow.
Because he went to ECW. He became a loose cannon in ECW.
He really became his
like
character.
literally, that became his
that became who he was.
Exactly, that's who he was, and then the shit hit the fan. He went to WWE, and then at a point, right when he was about to start his push, he got into an accident. He got into a very, very bad car accident that it destroyed his ankle. It destroyed his ankle. He was taking a lot of pain pills just to get through the match. And there was at a point they were putting him in these crazy storylines with Goldust and Marlena and the hotel, and they're under the covers and naked, all that. Like, it was attitude. He said, speaking of Pillman, is he in the Hall of Fame? No, he is not in the Hall of Fame yet, and I'm still questioning why. Why he's not in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not gonna lie, Brian Pillman was definitely one of those people that wasn't really title driven. He was really dedicated to the business.
Yeah, everybody was getting high on everything in ECW.
He was definitely business written. He definitely wanted to go back to the business. Remember at ECW back then, almost everyone.
Yeah, everyone got high. That's what the business was back then. He said, remember when he pulled up the gun on Austin? They said that shit would not fly. Now, I don't know that shit.
He pulled a gun on Austin?
He pulled a gun on Austin.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't fly
on live TV.
That wouldn't fly at all.
And after that happened, the WWE got a complaint from USA Network about that gun that they had to publicly apologize for the shit like that.
Wow.
That's how bad it got.
Is he a Hall of Famer in your opinion? Like,
yes,
he's Hall of Fame
he's Hall of Fame material.
Asking.
He is Hall of Fame material for the simple fact that if it wasn't for him, in my opinion, if it wasn't for him, there would not have been the formation of the Hart Foundation, and the careers of Bret Hart and everyone in that Hart Foundation would have not got to where it got. Because the Hart Foundation, not a rivalry. He was with them.
With them. Sorry. With them. Yes.
And he took their heel characters into a new level because he brought that character there.
What was I thinking?
And also because of what he did for the business. He doesn't need to be in the Hall of Fame. He's still a legend in my eyes and heart. Absolutely.
Of course.
He's amazing.
I still think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, though.
Absolutely. I believe that too. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, due to him and his demons, he did pass away. He passed away at a young age. But now his son, his biological son, is in NXT. Lennox King.
That is his son.
And I like the attitude.
Me too.
I like this kid.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I just pray to God that he doesn't lose himself like his father does, man.
No, I hope not either.
Because it's easy.
What's everybody's opinion on?
I'm gonna say something like, so it's like, it's easy to go in and do so. It's easy to go. And I feel like everybody here is gonna agree with me on this. It's easy to go in and do something that you know you regret, and it's hard to come back out of it. Once you do something you know you regret, once you get hooked on it, it's never easy to come back out.
So his son,
no matter how hard you try,
with Triple H helped.
No matter how hard you try,
but that's what I'm saying. He doesn't want to go by his father.
I'm glad he wants to
be his own image.
And I'm glad he does.
I understand that because there's only one Brian Pillman.
Exactly.
You don't want to be another Brian Pillman.
Nope.
You want to be Lexus King.
Exactly.
That's who he wants to be. That's what it is. And trust me when I'm telling you, the way the WWE is going now with this stuff that they're doing, Sean won't let Pillman Jr. fall down that rabbit hole. Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. Excuse me. You have stuff like that, and Shawn Michaels said now that he's matured, he's gonna lead this young man into greatness.
Of course.
I'm telling you.
Of course.
And NXT right now is on fire.
I'm
loving NXT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
better than AEW.
You got, when you talk about great stars, you talk about the Macho Man, Randy Savage, dig it, brother. Macho Man and Kurt Hennig. These two guys, all these four guys, Shawn Michaels, Brian Pillman, Randy Savage, Kurt Hennig, all had a dark past. Only one had a happy ending.
Unfortunately, one had a happy ending.
Unfortunately, we're gone. These three are gone. Not forgotten because the Macho Man provided a lot for this business like nobody ever has.
Listen, everybody
also.
Listen.
Snap into a Slim Jim, brother.
Snap into a Slim Jim. Listen, everybody has a dark side.
Everybody
has a dark side. Everybody goes through something. Everybody has demons. But it's up to you if you beat them or you let them overcome you.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, these three men tried to beat their demons, and they let their demons take over. And you know,
and it sucks.
The worst happened.
And it sucks because you know Randy Savage. I wish. And Alvin, what's up, man? You late? We're about to end, brother.
You are really late. Oh my, it's fine. He could just rewatch. The show when we were.
To me, it would have been so cool, man, if Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm just picturing it in my head. If Macho Man Randy Savage was standing in that podium, accepting that Hall of Fame. Well, brothers, the Macho Man is down.
Man, there's a lot of what ifs. A lot of what ifs for them, man.
That's a great way to say it, Jaden. Listen, man, they all Hall of Famers in my book.
There's a lot of what if. There was a lot of what ifs with those guys.
It was because
unfortunately,
what if Brian Pillman would have transcended up in the business further? What if he would have never got hurt?
What if Macho Man was still here? What if Kurt Hennig?
Imagine him being a manager of somebody in WWE. Imagine Kurt Hennig being a manager of his son. You know what I mean? His speech would have been epic.
What if Shawn Michaels never had a child?
Exactly.
What would have happened?
Exactly.
There's a lot of good what ifs and bad what ifs. What if Shawn Michaels never got injured?
That's the dark side of evolution, Jay. That's the dark side. Unfortunately, their dark side prevailed, and that's where they were taken.
Their dark side got
the best of them.
Exactly.
Got the best of them. You know what I mean? And it sucks that it had to come to that these stars had to come to point.
Their hard times just lasted.
And unfortunately, everybody goes through them.
They couldn't anymore.
Which brings us back to Brian's comment earlier.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy. He said, you know who's a Hall of Fame speech I would have loved to see? Eddie Guerrero. Absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
Tell me about it.
That would have been...
Savage Hall of Fame speech would have been epic.
Oh, hell yeah.
Of course.
Hell yeah, brother. But thank you, wrestling fans, for joining us. Our time is up. We appreciate your time. We appreciate the show. We appreciate you guys watching us for season 5. This is part 1 of the Dark Side of Evolution.
Yep.
Next week's topic is going to be part 2, of course. It's going to be it's going to be an interesting sight to see when we talk about professional wrestling. Magnifico. But it has been our privilege and our honor to have brought you 5 years so far of evolution of pro wrestling, and we're not done. We're not done by a long shot.
Nope.
You know, we still got many things to come. Excuse me, I'm just scrolling up to something just to announce something real quick. Jaden, tell the fans what your new year is coming with Pro Evolution Pro Wrestling.
Well, you were talking, Mr. Encyclopedia. Now we got a lot coming for y'all though this year. You know, we got a lot of things coming for y'all this year. You know, we got a lot of great topics. You know, a lot of great things coming for y'all in this new 2024 year.
We got a lot of shit. 5 years and many more to come. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We
appreciate you guys.
Appreciate everybody.
And we appreciate our creative team as well. They do so much. We talk, we chat, we come up with shit together. Next week's show, we are gonna have wrestling's top news along with the Dark Side of Evolution Part 2. And the 4 stars that we are going to have that day.
With y'all all the way. Appreciate the support.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate
everybody's support here, man.
Yes, we sure do. The 4 stars, 5 years and 5 more inches with face hair.
You're not wrong, though. You're not wrong.
You gotta convince him to straighten his hair.
No.
To look the part.
Listen. Once this grows out enough, I will straighten my hair. A few episodes, I will straighten my hair.
Okay. So part 2, the names that are on this list. Now, I was going to mention this name, but I think Bradley just mentioned Owen Hart. I think we're gonna add some names into this. Like we got in 4, but we're gonna add people into it anyway and talk about it. Fabulous Moolah. Definitely controversial. So the Dark Side of the Ring, the shit that people are accusing her of doing or whatever. They couldn't stand her. They called her a bitch. They called a whole bunch of shit.
So we're
going to talk about her. The infamous Gary Hart.
Gary
Hart was an old school manager and a star who was notorious for managing the Great Muta. He said the hair is deep. Bring down the curl in the front. My bag, off topic. Dynamite Kid, yeah, bring everything, man. Bring everything up. And with...
Mind you, this is only the shrinkage.
Yes,
it's a lot longer
yes,
than
yes.
this.
We got to talk about Gary Hart. We're going to talk about the infamous and crazy, controversial Ultimate Warrior.
This has to be done.
Holy shit.
Has to be done.
And also, none other than Jaden's favorite wrestler, favorite heel, the one, the only, Roddy Piper.
Sure.
And then we also going to mention other names, which I'm personally going to mention a name in honor of this show. Honorable mention. And we are going to talk about that day will be the Von Erichs. He said, what about Abdullah? Bring it on, man. Bring it on. Would be nice.
John
Yeah.
Cena had a dark side?
And I don't know about a dark side. He had his moments, yes.
I was to say maybe his moments, but
I don't know about that.
I don't think John Cena had a dark side.
Randy Orton would be on this list. Randy had a dark side either.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
He did.
Really?
I will tell you about it after this show is over.
Really? Interesting. I mean, we got to talk, man. We got to talk.
I will tell you about it when the show is over.
Okay, John Cena, interesting, and Abdullah.
But yes,
Abdullah but you guys, that will be the listen. That will be for you guys.
No, Cena's favorite.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm like, yo, used to be. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, but yes, no, he will be.
Randy Orton is my honorable mention for next show. I'm just gonna save it for next show because we're a little pressed for time. But
yes, no, it's okay. It's okay. We got some time. We still got a lot of time here.
I mean, I'm still gonna save it.
The dark side of evolution. We talk about the dark side. We talk about personal in and out of the ring.
I still want to save it.
Today we talked about Shawn Michaels, Brian Pillman. We talked about Randy Savage, Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
A lot of people brought other people up.
That's gonna be my honorable.
The Von Erichs should be definitely in that list because the Von Erichs had a definite checkered past. They had a grueling. Like some old school with very dark side, Buck Zonahoff and Bobby Sweeten. Oh, I'm definitely looking at New Jack and Mass Transit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff has happened in professional wrestling.
Yep.
But again, fans, thank you for joining us for this 5th season of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Please feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X. Also X. We do on X and TikTok. Also. Please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Dylan James, what's going on, brother? You're a little late. We're about to end our show, but you can always catch it after the replay. It's an awesome show, The Dark Side of Evolution, Part 1. Thank you, fans, for joining us. For myself, Louis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
Jay, the heel kid of Pro Wrestling.
And for my lovely wife and producer, my beautiful wife, Jasenia. Thank you, fans, for joining us. Tune in next week, same time, 8 o'clock. I'm sorry we were late. We were 5 minutes late due to a little grub. We ate some good grub. But thank you for joining us. See you, fans, next week. Hasta luego. Hasta la bye-bye.